I woke up this morning feeling pretty fine. Got a little secret gonna blow your mind. In the corner of my room, where the lights are dim, got a little buddy and he's one cool chameleon. He's got reds and yellows and greens, oh my, blending in with the colors, catching all eyes. He changes with the mood like a living disguise. Got a chameleon friend, the ultimate prize. Keeping chameleons, it's so much fun. Watching them change in the summer sun. The colorful companions always by my side. Keeping chameleons, it's a colorful ride.
At the Chameleon Academy, where colors unfold, I learned about chameleons, how the stories are told. With curiosity in my heart, I walked through the door, ready to discover, ready to explore. Met some friends that day, their love was shining bright, eyes filled with wonder, hearts like dynamite. We bonded over chameleons, they were just like me. Passion in our souls, a connected melody. Learn, understand, pass it on. Chameleon love from dusk till dawn. The Chameleon Academy, we're all family strong, embracing the motto where we all belong. Investing in the motto where we all belong. Oh, investing in the motto where we all belong.
What the heck is going on over there?
Well, good evening, Chameleon Academy and all the chameleon lovers out there. Welcome to the Chameleon Academy Tuesday night Chameleon Chat. Woohoo! We are all here. Oh, we've got quite a crew in there today. Just so you know, don't know if we're going to see anything, but if you see in the cage behind me, the Shamrock Chameleon in there, he's sick of dubias. He's just tired of the dubias. He's had a lot of them. And there is a fly buzzing around in there. And so you may see him go after that fly. The thing is, I don't know why, but he prefers dubia roaches over flies. Just a strange little guy. But I, of course, love him. He's doing great. Hello, Matthew King. I am doing well. So we've got Spain in the house. Wonderful. Mikey Ben, we've got Canada. Any other countries here? I, of course, love the good old United States, but love collecting, love knowing how far we go. I'm here in Southern California, and we have just gotten over a horrendous heat wave, up past 110. And so it is, we're so happy to go with that. Every single chameleon was packed in the living room. There's two places that I have that have air conditioning. They were all packed in, either in their cages or in bins if they were in outdoor cages. It was a real rough ride, really rough. Tomorrow we're back to being beautiful weather. This was a tough one. So let's see. Hello, James Hill, Roxanne, Alicia. Hey, Paul Negro. Everybody, oh, we've got a new person here. Paul Negro, and you can see him. He's on the YouTube chat. So say hello to him. He's looking at getting a Panther Chameleon and is debating between indoor cages, outdoor cages, both, which is actually the better. That's the perfect answer. So he's down in Florida, so he gets a little bit of opportunities not everybody gets. Oh, Cindy's back. Hello. And oh my goodness, you know, when you got a cutie like Misty Mountain fans showing up, you've hit the big time. And no, everybody, I'm not picking up on people in the chat. That's my wife, Yvette, and I just love having her here. So, all right, James is saying all my cams were out today, but we're gonna drop into the 50s at night. So, oh no, 50s is great. You got to bring them in for the 50s is great. Oh, I don't know why you, but anyway, yeah, I'm just glad that that we got some decent weather coming in. Have you guys seen that guy in the background? Has he eaten yet? I don't know if you can see the fly. I can't see the fly anymore, so maybe he ate already. What the heck? Mr. Richard Stewart is here of the Tarantula Collective. You've never called me a cutie. Not to your face as much as you know. So I got get in trouble with your wife. I'm smarter than that. Woo. All right. But very good to see you. You know what? If anybody here would love to see good photography, Tarantula Collective. Yes, tarantulas, you have to be into, but you know what? Even if you're not into tarantulas, the photography and videography on that account is so cool. You need to check it out. If nothing else, just get inspiration for what you can do with your account. Woo. So anyway, very good to see you, Richard. And let's see. Haha. She's so cute when she laughs. Daniel's asking, are the fires affecting you in your area? They are very close to me. They are not affecting me. My skies are orange, but it's far enough away that it's not going to affect me. But I do know people who are affected, so it's close enough in that way. See, Justin Hurst, Bill, I recently came across 2 XL Reptibreeze enclosures. So a good friend of mine, aka the Fog Father himself. Well, now you're name dropping some pretty important people. Told me you can put them together. Can you help me with that? Justin Hurst, yes, I can. If there anybody here wants to put together 2 Reptibreezes, and here I go. I'm actually getting ready to relaunch my 4-foot wide enclosure, but I'm telling everybody how to do it with Reptibreezes. So yeah, that's the contradiction that I am. So oh well. Yes, in the latest episode, if you have access to a 3D printer, in the latest issue of the Chameleon Academy journal, which is on the chameleonacademy.com website, I actually have download files for you to download mending plates that you can use to mend together 2 Reptibreezes. And so that is available to you. You just have to go to the website and look up the journal and take a look at the December 2023 issue. Yeah. Fernanda Jameson. Hello, Utah. Very good to see you here. And we've got another Beetlejuice bag coming in. I tell you, Roxanne's serious about that kind of stuff. So, at least, Wes, you're in the right place to ask away. Oh, I have a serious question about my Panther Mr. Sprinkles. Well, yeah, this is a good place to ask it. Go ahead and ask it, and we'll use that as the first question of the day. I do have a whole lot of photographs to show you, and we'll do that kind of in the middle of the show. But we've got to get important questions out first. So let's see. Rocco, the French Bulldog, says, we took my Panther in for a health check today and fecal. Early signs of possible respiratory issues. Doctor recommended Fortas injection 4 days in a row. He hasn't shown any signs during the vet visit. Yeah, and that's the problem with chameleons. They won't show signs during the vet visit. That's actually good news. If when your chameleon goes to the vet, they are hyped up on adrenaline, and they're not going to show weakness to this strange human. So Don't take that as a sign that they are not that bad. Take that as a sign of it's just starting. If there are signs that there's a respiratory infection starting, now's the perfect time to go into it with the Fortaz, because it's small. And when it's small, the chameleon can get knocked out very quickly. And so this is where I say that chameleon keepers, they need to develop this, they need to trust their instincts, because once we have our chameleon for a while and we notice their habits and their mannerisms, something is off before you can explain why. And if you get to the point where you've developed that sense and you trust yourself and you go into the vet and say, okay, here's a picture of it, this is strange, I think we're starting, something's off, that's the time that you can just knock it out before it becomes an issue. Now, the thing is, you have to trust yourself, because when it gets far enough along to where there's no doubt that there's an issue, that's when it's further along than you want it to be. And unfortunately, you have to get to the point where you start treating it when you just sense it. And you can always talk yourself out of it. And I've done that before. I've talked myself out of it and I've regretted it, because you can't explain what it is that you say, okay, it just doesn't feel right. And so it's really easy to second guess yourself. And, for all I know, some of the times where I thought something was wrong and I treated it, maybe there wasn't anything wrong. And that's the downside of getting this premonition type sense, is you don't get the confirmation that you were right. And you just have to accept that and be okay with that, knowing that if you let it go, well, you'll be proven right. And now your chameleon is suffering. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation, but that is life. Thank you for having those files available for us, Bill. Actually about to work on printing that. Excellent. Yeah, the files are there for people to use. Hello, top shelf chameleons. All right, here's our question. He's been great with eating and misting. I take him out in the sunshine every day, but I recently noticed his throat gets swollen. Goes away at night, but through the day, it's very much there. Is that right after the misting? Yeah, sometimes they will swell their throats out. Sometimes, especially if it's after a misting and they've absorbed a lot of water. I would say it doesn't scream to me that there's something wrong. Now, I don't know for sure. I'm just talking about my experience and when I've seen the throat get swollen. It hasn't progressed into anything that is wrong. So that's all I can say. Of course, anything could happen and anything does happen. So I wouldn't take my limited experience. I've got a lot of experience, but it's still nowhere near covering everything that could happen. So watch it. But the thing is, it goes away. And so just keep it. The trouble sign is when it stays longer and longer and longer. So it's getting worse and worse and worse. But if it stays the same, then whatever it is not getting worse. And that is good news. Has anyone had a gravid veil? Yes, I have bred veils multi-generationally, and I have had many gravid females. I was worried about my cam eating outdoor flies that randomly fly into her enclosure, but it seems like that's not a problem. Jarek, I encourage flies to fly into my cage at any point in time. Now, you could make an argument for you don't know what those flies are bringing in. And so you decide at how sterile you want your chameleon's life to be. Me personally, I have decided that I encourage wild caught insects if at all possible. Now, if I have been acclimating wild-caught chameleons and I've sprayed down some floor panels in the backyard, well, now I have a reason to be concerned because there's parasites now in the backyard. Chameleon parasites, not alligator lizard parasites, but chameleon parasites. And so now I have something to be concerned about. So we all have to figure out the balance and then make a decision, because it's really hard to put down a black and white for every situation. So should I panic if my panther hits mid-50s? Okay, no, we shouldn't panic. The really important part is not how cold it gets at night. Well, of course, it starts to get near freezing, you're going to have problems. Although there are reports of chameleons frozen in mud puddles. And then when it thaws out, they just climb up the tree. So they can handle a lot, but we don't want to encourage that. So don't get down to freezing. But the 50s, what's really important is how warm is it during the day? Can they warm up? Because when it gets down to 50s, their metabolism is really slowing down. And that's okay if they're sleeping. And in the morning, they just warm up. Like in Southern California, during the nights of it get down into the 40s, and I have my panther chameleons out now. So health-wise, but the thing is, I have clear days, and so they're able to bask during the day, and they can warm up. Now, keep in mind, if you keep them down, get them down to the 50s, and they spend half of their day not growing, then you may have a panther chameleon that is a smaller panther chameleon than if they were in warmer temperatures day and night. And I've experienced that. Right now, I have some absolutely beautiful panther chameleons that are smaller than some of my other panther chameleons that I raised indoors. Now, they are of top health. They are very healthy. They're just smaller. And that's because I had them out when they were growing. I had them out during winter. And so, they didn't grow as fast, and whether they'll ever catch up, I don't know. But just keep in mind it has that effect. This is one reason why I don't like if someone says, how much should my panther chameleon weigh at this particular weight at this particular age? I don't like to say that, because different panthers will grow at different rates, but they're still healthy. So anyway, let's see. Chris from Pitt, is it okay to have my chameleon's cage near windows in my house? Seems like that makes him want to leave his cage. When you say okay, if it's okay, it's fine. You gotta make sure that the sun doesn't, that you got the greenhouse effect, so make sure that the sun doesn't overheat your cage. But then you have to make a judgment call in your particular case. If he sees something out there, there's birds out there, there's planes, there's things that could freak him out. There's things that he could say, hey, I want to go there. And so you have to judge as to whether that's good for him to see what's going on out there. But as far as husbandry goes, it doesn't really matter, as long as he's not getting too much heat, and as long as you're not relying on UVB from the sun going through window, which filters out the UVB. Our trumpet vines veiled tested. My mom says they're toxic, the orange flower ones. I haven't seen veiled chameleons eat those. I've used them with veiled chameleons, but I haven't seen them eat the vines, and so I don't know what would happen if they eat the vines. Obviously, I'm not concerned because I'm using them with my veiled chameleons, but also it means that I don't have any position to stand on to say I know for sure that they're safe. What does everyone think of the translucent and pied veiled chameleons? I will leave that for people in the chat to give their opinion. I don't like them so much, but that's a personal opinion as far as their coloration aesthetically. Now, if you want to get into the a little bit more of the politics of it, that I will step out of. I don't personally care, but I do know some people are very passionate about their position on there. But me, I just don't find them aesthetically as pleasing as the natural kind. Hey, Eric, thank you very much for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Hey. Don't tell me I can keep panther chameleons in low 50s. I do not need a basement panther chameleon. Yeah, well, yeah, you just got to make sure that the day is warm enough that they can totally warm up. Yeah, that just make sure of that. And that's so it's one of those things where whether they can handle low 50s for a certain amount of time is different than whether that is ideal husbandry that we want to keep them in long term. So yeah, I keep my panthers, they go down to the 50s, but that's just a spike in the weather and then it goes back up. Has anyone ever had a gravid veil drop an egg randomly? Should not actually dig or lay, just drop one. Husbandry and yeah, yep, Roman, that's not natural, especially if they are infertile. Sometimes you get chameleons that don't even bother digging; they just deposit them throughout the cage. That is normal. Yeah. Satan has pied feet. Yes, our veiled chameleon bloodlines are pretty shallow. We have a lot of inbreeding with the veiled chameleons, and so the genes that produce the pied effect are spread out, are already spread out. So let's see, I had some that had some little bit of the pied in it as well. It's going to be kind of hard to really get away from that. Yeah. Wayne Beaties, can't speak on translucent, but I absolutely love my pied. Wayne Beaties, those are actually two names for the same thing. So your pied is translucent. It's I think like US is like translucent and Europe says pied. I'm not sure, but then there's everybody talks because it's the internet age. It's the internet age. Wonderful. Can I use pink princess philodendron in my chameleon cage? I love pink princess philodendron. I use philodendrons extensively in my chameleon cages, but I don't know that I have experience with a veiled chameleon eating a pink princess. So many of these plants that we have are listed as toxic because they have oxalates, but veiled chameleons just ignore the oxalates. I don't care. But a lot of them, we don't know. I seem to recall that I do have a record of veiled chameleons eating pink princess and not having a problem, but I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure on that. All right. Oh, wow. Is Steve Hefner here? What the heck? Oh, I did. I saw him. Well, you're right. He's there. So... Oh, James says I need to see a picture of Satan. Well, if you look at the opening sequence that I do when I have the countdown for this live session, you can go in there and you'll see a picture of Satan. Satan is Marcia Ipsen's veiled chameleon. So, all right, I need to catch up on my chat here. Recently sent Bill a new picture of Satan. Watch for him in future lead-in videos. Yes, everybody, you have sent me the most amazing pictures. The new lead-in video, the countdown video for when I start these live sessions is going to be awesome. So if any of you still have some pictures that you would like to share with me so I can put them at the beginning, just send them to that email that is at the bottom here. Yeah. Let me see if I can. Is PIDE a mutation from inbreeding? PIDE is a mutation. The inbreeding has amplified it. Yeah. So, all right, guys, it's coming to the middle, so it's time to start looking at some pictures. Oh, okay. Yep, Stephanie, thank you very much. Remember to hit the like button. That's right. You're enjoying this, hit the like button. Let good old social media know we got good things going on here. So I am going to present. Let's take a look at this guy. Oh boy, he is just, this is a yellow giant Parsons chameleon in his mottled colors. And he is, oh my goodness, he is absolutely gorgeous. I am in love with these Parsons chameleons. He is beautiful. And this guy is so friendly. He just eats out of my hand. Love it. Let's see. We live in Central Texas area. Would like to know what would be cause for concern on feeding our veiled chameleon the known safe bugs from our backyard. No pesticide. I don't know any reason. There's no reason I know that you shouldn't do it. In fact, there's every reason that you should, because they have a wide variety. They're eating a wide variety of things, and they've got natural sunlight that they've grown into. I would take advantage of feeding those insects. Feed those insects. Okay, let's see. What do I have next? Oops, what happened? What happened? There we go. Oh, this is one of my panther chameleons that was hatched here. A son of Antilles. So he's not happy at this point because he is coming inside because of the heat wave, and he is having to go into a bin because his outdoor cage is not portable. It's bigger than I can move around. So he's not happy at all. But boy, he is beautiful. Why are the veiled so much more timid than panthers? Anyone? James, it's just individual personality. There's some veils that are just gregarious and out there, and some that are timid. I would say veiled chameleons have a wide variety of personalities, and whatever they do it big. So you'll get the shyest of the shy, the most friendly of the friendly, gregarious and defensive. Like I had some veiled chameleons, and one of them just hated me and would literally walk on my hand, look me in the eye, and then slowly go down to bite me. And another one, he'll crawl all over me to eat, and he's just looking for things out of my hand. He loves, he doesn't like being held, but is fine with the interaction. So it's just two veiled chameleons, two different personalities. Every single veiled chameleon I have has a different personality. Panther chameleons, I find, are more, they don't have as wide of a range as veileds do. You can find some that are defensive. You can find some that are, I won't say friendly, but gregarious, and some that are shy. But they don't do it as, they don't go to the extremes like veiled chameleons do. Oh yeah, James has been experimenting with a whole lot of fog. He's doing fog experiments. Oh boy. So yeah, Derpy is so tame. She's fan-fed, loves to come out for a visit. And chameleon and veiled chameleons will do that. Now, my female, the Derpy is, for those who don't know, Derpy is a female veiled chameleon. My female veiled chameleon spent her entire life hating me. And by the way, Marcia Ipsen's veiled chameleon, the name Satan is not one that was given originally. It was earned. So you just got this wide variety of options. All right, let's see. Oh yes, I had to share this. That's a little hatchling brevicorn. So cute. They have this mottled color and these cute little spikes. I know you guys have seen this picture before. And but I had to show it again because I love it. Hello, Eliza Ann. Oh, let's see. I saw a good question here. What's the best fogger to use? Fernanda. Is that the right pronunciation? I work on these until I get it right. Fernanda, unfortunately, we are quite primitive when it comes to foggers in this community, and we usually use ones off of Amazon that are made for the reptile community by offshore companies, but none of them are great quality. They work great for a while, and then they'll dump a gallon of water on your floor for unknown reasons, and so we're really not happy with the commercial offerings. But here in the Chameleon Academy community, we are absolutely enthralled with the Fog Father fogger, which is a DIY fogger that you can put together yourself. It takes a little bit of effort. It takes a little bit of money. But the end result is the highest quality fogger. I mean, oh my goodness, I would love to have that available. It's worth the money for the quality of the fogger that it is. And you're wondering, what the heck are you talking about? If you go to the DIY Chameleon guys on YouTube, on my Chameleon Academy account, every Wednesday morning, we release a DIY Chameleon guys. It's an episode where me and James Cross get together and we do something DIY. We build something. And one of the things we did is a fogger, and we show all the pieces to get to build this fogger. And that really is the best fogger. And I look forward to the day that we get a good commercial fogger that is of high quality, but we don't have that right now. So we're kind of forced to DIY it. And we've got a great DIY solution. So I'm really happy about that. James, I can't get my guy to come out. Been hand feeding and seems to be drawing him closer to me. It's a pain to move him. Yeah, and every chameleon takes a different length of time to get used to you. Like my veiled chameleons they are so excited to be fed by me that sometimes that when I go and try to get them on my hand, they're confused. Hey, well, what's going on? This is different than what we expect. But they get on my hand because they're confused. And so you can it's just slow. It just takes time, and just keep doing it. I mean, we have lots of years with our chameleons, and so take that time, take that patience, and then accept that chameleons have different abilities, and there may be a limit to what your chameleon will do. So accept that for whatever it is. Hey, yeah, Sergio, I just want to say back rubs and rubbing your chameleon, that's kind of going down the wrong path, and saying that you know what he likes. Just be careful. You're starting to project onto your chameleon, and that is the path to the dark side. Just careful with that. Wolf JM, any opinion on using Spanish moss in the cage? Careful with that. And the reason why I say that is because chameleons, if there's a cricket in there, a chameleon will zap the cricket. And if some of that Spanish moss comes back in, they will keep drawing it in and in and in, trying to eat it. So you got to be careful of that. I had a chameleon die from that because they zapped a banana, a bamboo leaf with their pricket, and they just kept eating it until it literally was going through his body. And it's pretty, that is the only problem that I have with Spanish moss is that possibility. One of Veiled again. It's been to Veils are such cool chameleons. Love them very much. And they get a here. I got to show you. This is my old man. Love this guy. He is he's over 7 years old now, and he is just kicking and having a good old time in life. Love him very much. Fogfather is the only fogger you will ever need, and that is true. Now, the thing is, the Fogfather this is the DIY fogger that we do, is one that you can you can really maintain it. And so when the discs go out, the fogging discs go out, you can replace them. And so once you know how to put together this fogger, you're in control of your fogger. These other ones off of Amazon, I still have no idea why they leak and how to fix it, except I do it again and it's not leaking. It's like, okay, what's going on, guys? Come on. Had an Amazon fogger, and after about a year, it finally leaked all over my floor and ruined it. Go with the fogger. Yeah. I still use those Amazon foggers. They're good, but you have to keep in mind that at some random point, they'll dump water. I don't even know how they dump water. The heck is that? How is it possible? What breaks? What overflows? I don't know. Yeah. I thought it was camel. Okay, well, you guys decide what we are. Oh boy. Yeah, and yeah, hey, yeah, Sergio. Okay, I am gonna say, Sergio, you gotta back off a little bit on this because we have extensive experience both with chameleons and people handling chameleons. And we see a whole lot of people projecting their desires on chameleons and believing that the chameleons want to be held when they really don't. And this is a misinterpretation of your chameleon's response. Now, Sergi, if you do have there are some chameleons that are okay being held, but when you start talking about massaging them, giving them back rubs, neck rubs, you start going into the realm where you're probably misinterpreting them freezing for them liking it. And there's so much opportunity for misinterpreting what they say, what they are really telling you. Now, we can't see what's going on, and so we can't say for sure what is going on. But when you come to a public forum, you have to understand that if somebody sees somebody saying that chameleons like back rubs, they will rush off and they will give their chameleon a back rub. And most people don't have the ability, the skills of understanding when a chameleon doesn't want to be touched. And most chameleons don't want to be touched. And so in any responsible public forum, you're not going to see we're not going to accept somebody encouraging the massaging or rubbing of a chameleon. That's just for most chameleons. I mean, I would say all, but I can't say 100% anywhere. Most chameleons, if not all chameleons, will not enjoy touch. And the reason why is because in the wild, there is nothing that corresponds to a positive outcome from being touched. They don't have families. Touch does not mean to them what it means to us. We have families. We bond over touch. Dogs do the same thing. Cats do the same thing. Monkeys do the same thing. Dolphins do the same thing. We are all community animals. We bond via touch. Chameleons do not know their family. They don't have family groups. And so when there's something close enough to touch them, it's either because of mating or because they're going to be eaten or because they're going to be in a fight. So they don't have that part of their brain that says touch is positive. So if somebody is going to come on a public forum and say, my chameleon likes to be touched, you're going to be met with great doubt and challenged, because literally there's no part of a chameleon's life where touch is a positive thing. So the most likely scenario is that you are projecting what you think touch is into them. So, like I said, we don't see what you see, but if you say that on a public forum, you're going to be challenged, because we can't let other people run with it. And I'm not sure I'm explaining the concern here, because people love to be told that they can hold their chameleons. They love to be told that they can pet their chameleons, and they love to be told that they can kiss their chameleons, essentially turn a chameleon into a dog. And the fact is, that is the reason why so many chameleons are stressed. And so we have to be very careful as to what kind of behavior we accept being demonstrated. And I hope I'm explaining that correctly. You can ask questions on it, but just know that it's not responsible of us to allow people to think that it's okay to pet their chameleons, rub their chameleons, and such like that. So, yeah, and it really comes. That's what a chameleon is, and it comes like Steve Hefner. He works day in and day out as an admin of a group where he sees this day in, day out, and so it's his responsibility to say, hold on, wait, let's not let this go. So just also understand our responsibilities of what we can allow in a public forum. Okay. And James is willing to help you with your fogger. Yes, he is very helpful. Do your research first before you contact James. Go through as much of the research and understand as much as possible, and then ask him specific questions. And then you'll make the most of what he can offer. Ever considered designing a commercial fogger bill for Dragon Shrimp product line? I have considered it. It is definitely a huge project. And there's a reason why it doesn't exist, is because the people using it's such a niche of people using it. It would be a challenge for me. I would have to do a complete marketing outreach explaining why people should buy this fogger and over the Amazon fogger. And then I have to take a look at the market out there. Now, of course, I can just buy a bunch of professional grade foggers and put a name on it. That is a possibility. I've considered it. It's something that can be done. Maybe I will do that. Not in the absolute near future, though. but yes, it's a very good idea. Somebody's got to do it. And if I wasn't trying to do 5 other things, I would definitely go in that direction, because it's something that we absolutely need. What's the best way to move them out of their cage when they don't want to? Yeah, that's difficult, because you can use a stick, but boy, they can jump off that stick so easily. The best way to do it is to herd them, have a stick at the outside of the cage and herd them onto that stick. And I know that's easier said than done. So the answer is there isn't an easy way, but you just got to figure out what the way is for your chameleon. When I have to get a chameleon out and they don't want to come out, I will come on and with my hand I will grab them from the back. What I say never do, but I don't say never do it because I say it is something that they don't like. It is something that makes you look like a predator. But hey, it depends on how much you really need them out. If you're going to a vet, okay, that's a stress spike. Give them a stress spike. They got to get out. So just understand what just decide how important it is. Of course, when you got a full-grown veiled chameleon that doesn't want to be picked up, they got a bite on them. They can take care of themselves. So, yeah, good luck. Oh. Thank you for navigating to the journal so much. Yes, I love the journal. For those who don't know, I did 3 issues of a magazine because I love magazines. And it's you go on, you can find them now at chameleonacademy.com, and there's this the journal, and you can flip through it like a magazine, and I love them so much. Unfortunately, it's a lot of work, and it doesn't bring back enough return for the amount of time that it takes. So it's still something that I would love to do. But right now I've got to establish some other things here. And then maybe I can get back to my journal in the future. But there's 3 issues there. I love them. I'm very new to chameleons and all lingo. What does it's actually DIY, do it yourself. So it's the same DIY as everybody else does. And it's the DIY Chameleon Guys every Wednesday morning. It launches. Of course, you can see all the episodes after, but it's all about us building stuff. Like tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Pacific, we've got an episode. It's about building your own drainage tray. Well, you're thinking, hey, well, wait a minute. Last week we did a do-yourself drainage tray. Yeah, but you know what? This week I did it myself, and that's why it's called Lessons Learned. So we're going to talk about what happens when you try to do it yourself. So, and you just and every launch is a premiere, which means that there's a chat. And so if you want to be there for the first showing at 5 a.m. Pacific with the Illuminati, we all have a chat going on, and it's mostly us just saying hello to everybody and saying good morning and such. So everybody's invited, of course. Yes, we do everything. Weekend, my Amazon Fugger leaked all over my floor and ruined it. I have to replace the flooring in the room now. It is such a pain. I don't know what's up with those. How hard is it to make? Oh, sheesh. Okay. Dude. Sorry, had a little. The dog got into something and got stuck on a Mr. Tube. And so anyway, yeah, I'm a little bit wet now. I had to fix something. So, hey, this is my little Shamrock back there. He's just been sprayed down, and he's got a lot of places to get out of the spray, but he decided he was just going to sit there. So he's all nice and sprayed. So let's see. Mercury's in your mom, currently elbow deep in rats, feeding all the big rats. Okay. Let's see. How often do you need to change the water when using the small foggers? every couple days, depending upon how much you use it. Like for the screen cage that I've got behind me, I was running it 24 hours a day because I was doing an experiment with, can we get lots of ventilation and humidity? So it just depends on how much you use it. Oh, Nick's got an answer here. The cheap foggers dump water when the spring or plug gets stuck and water continues to flow into the bottom area. As simple as a fruit fly under the plug will allow water to slowly drain. Okay. Thank you very much, Nick, for that explanation. Let's see. Nico King is asking, for a panther chameleon that lives inside, would you expect to see differences in activity levels throughout the year despite lower shifts in temperatures? Well, Nico King, the thing is, inside they usually don't have wide temperature changes. Although you'd say, yeah, there are, because you look at the temperature. The thing is, every day they go back up to a comfortable level because they got their heat lamp and all that kind of stuff. So I generally, you will see a difference in activity if they're consistently cooler than they are in the summer. And so, yeah, you will see a difference. You just won't see as much of an effect like if they're outside or something like that. So. All right. Yeah, Sergio, you're just going to have to ease off on that. We're not going to care what you think. Yeah, and Sergio, this isn't an attack on you. So anybody can see Sergio getting all excited here. Animals can sense energy. Okay. Sergio, we've been doing this for so long. We have seen so many different variations on this, and it doesn't end well for the chameleon. And so I know you know what you know, but consider that we've seen this so many times before. And what we're telling you is it's the way it is. I wish it weren't. I wish our chameleons would cuddle with us and like that kind of interaction. But the fact is they don't. And we have seen so many people feel the way you do, feel that they are the chameleon whisperer, feel that they have a connection with their chameleon. And we can see if you finally get an interaction, they don't. They're imagining it. And Sergio, I know there's nothing we can, I don't know. Is there anything we can do that can convince you? We've seen this so often, and you're dealing with a deep well of experience that is telling you that you're imagining something, and this is detrimental to your chameleon. So saying that you don't care how we feel or think, okay, but if you're not going to listen to people with deep experience, then there's nothing we can do about that. But why in the world wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you listen to experience? So anyway, let's not. I think we're gonna have to agree to drop this here. So let's go ahead and drop it. My wife is scared of roaches. How big do these dubia get? They get about this big. They don't climb smooth surfaces, but yeah, you can. There are people who don't like to have roaches come into their house. Now, these roaches aren't going to be infesting. Well, I don't know. It depends on where you live. In Florida, they don't let you bring dubia in because, yeah, they will infest. But like in California, they're not going to infest. If you've got a really cold winter, oh, okay, that's where we get. If you have a very cold winter, then they're not going to like that. They don't like cold and dry. But yeah, it was very interesting when I tried to bring in green banana roaches, which can fly. So that is an extra challenge. So all right, going through the chat here, trying to catch up. Is a fog absolutely necessary during the nighttime? I have been told by many that running it every night can do more harm than good. Rocco, is it necessary? People have been keeping chameleons for a long time without it, but chameleons do better with it, and been told by many that running it every night can do more harm than good. Yeah, Rocco, this is the situation where there's a lot of people who don't do it, who are against it because it's different. Somewhere along the way, someone had said it causes respiratory infections. I don't know, maybe it did, and there was something wrong, but we, as in the Chameleon Academy community, the people you're talking to, Sean McNeely, James Cross, me, we've been fogging constantly, and it does nothing but good for the chameleon. Now, anything you do, you can do it wrong. So just because you have a fogger doesn't mean someone's not going to do it wrong. But I mean, I haven't been able to get a respiratory infection on a chameleon, and I would fog all night. So I'm sure there's more for me to learn as to how you can screw it up. And I, of course, continue trying to make it easier for people to do it. But Rocco, I would just say, take a look at my videos and the interviews that I do whenever I talk about fogging. And you can listen to the people who are actually doing it. James Cross has totally hydrated a Parsons chameleon only on fogging. Sean McNeely raises his babies only on fogging. And so there's your proof. Now, of course, I do too, but everybody, I guess I don't count because I'm the one saying that it is, and who knows what my motivation is for pushing this technique. But so that's why I bring on other people who have done it, who are part of the community, who have nothing to gain by saying fogging works. So, yeah, I don't know what to do with the rest of the community. The people who are doing it, it's working, and it's hydrating chameleons. And so I just continue to show what works. And I know there's a lot of politics. Nothing I can do about that. Yeah, we'll get James in here. Yep, James has been an outspoken advocate for fogging for good reason. Yeah. If I didn't see my chameleons drink and only relied on fog at night, I would never know for sure. Oh yeah, you would. Take a look at their poop. And that's actually your goal, our goal, my goal. I never want to see my chameleon drink. If they're not drinking, they're not thirsty. And so I'll actually give them an opportunity to drink during the afternoon. I'll give them a dripper. And if they drink from the dripper, I know I've got to do a better job hydrating. But look at their poop. If their poop is moist, then they're hydrated. If they refuse a dripper at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, they're hydrated. And really, our goal should be that our chameleons do not drink, that we never see them drink. And I know that is different than what has been taught to people over the last 30, 40 years, who knows? And so I don't expect, and I will tell you right now, the rest of the community is not going to jump on that bandwagon. But you're here, you're being exposed to people who are doing it. And considering how slow chameleons are to drink and such, it just makes sense that having this constant level of hydration is just better for them than misting them until they start drinking and such. It's a much more gentle way of hydration, and it keeps them hydrated. And so I just you don't have to jump every time somebody comes up with a different idea, but just stick around here and listen to us talk about it. We're doing it. And so you can compare what we're doing to whatever group is telling you that it's dangerous, and make your own decision. Yeah, what you can tell is by their poops. They barely drink and are highly hydrated. Yeah. Never own a magazine in my life. Don't think I've ever read one. Well, Stinky, you're younger than some of us. There used to be the magazines was the way we got information. Eliza Ann's got her tickets. Talking about to the 5th anniversary special for Clint's Reptiles. And I'm going to be there. And so if anybody's in the Utah area at the end of September, the 27th, 28th, I'm going to be there. And you can come meet me. Make sure I know you're coming. And let me know what your screen name is if you meet me. It's because I won't recognize you. I know you all by your screen names. Oh. There we go. And DIY. That is tomorrow morning at 5 p.m. Pacific. Let's see. I feel even if I ran a fogger all night, my cams will drink their butts off during the... Okay. You go ahead and try it. That's the only way you will know for sure. Just know we've got a whole lot of people here that are good foggers. We do a lot of fogging. Does a glass tank with top and side mesh still have the chimney effect? Fernanda, the chimney effect requires a vent at the bottom and then a vent at the top, and everything else has to be solid. So top and side mesh, if you mean the complete side, no, it does not have the chimney effect. It'll have a little bit, but not what we consider a true chimney effect. But if you have a complete side, which is screen, you have more ventilation. You don't need the chimney effect, but you're not getting as much of the retention of humidity. And so there's always that balance. All right, everybody. Well, we're coming to the end. Boy, I gotta go. Oh, should I? There we go, Sergio. No way you can know how all animals like just because you feel that way. Sorry if they don't like. Yeah, Sergio, but you can't know that. By the same token, you can't know that either. But we can look at their lives and see how having a connection would work in the wild. And with chameleons, it doesn't. They just aren't animals that develop connections. So, yeah. All right. All right, Sergio, let it go. Let it go. Goodbye, Sergio. Okay. Let's see. All right, I'm getting to the end of the chat, end of the show here. Just remember, tomorrow, 5 a.m., one last question. How do we find a good breeder? Ferdinand, go into my videos and just take a look at who I've interviewed. And what you can do, those are the people who have given back to the reptile community. And You can see, you can watch the interview, and you can get a feel for who they are. And that is going to go so far, because everybody can put together, they can raise up good chameleons, but you need to find one that vibes with what you want. How do you communicate? How do you like to be communicated with? And so by going into the video library of the YouTube channel, just go and select the videos and take a look at all the breeders that I have interviewed, and you can get a feel for who they are. And then after that, you can make a list of the breeders you'd like to work with, and then contact them. And so that's the best way. We've got a lot of great breeders. Be careful not to just like go to Morph Market or just see who's on Facebook. The one way you can filter through is figure out who has been on the Chameleon Academy podcast. Those are people who are part of the community, deeply part of the community, and that's what I would recommend. So, oh yeah, and also Chameleon Forums, chameleonforums.com is a good place to go, because breeders don't go there unless they are established. It's like chameleonforums.com is kind of like the secret area where the diehard chameleon people go, and you can find a good group there, and the breeders there are serious about chameleons. And so that's a excellent point, Eliza. So, all right, everybody, thank you very much for being here. Remember, tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Pacific on YouTube, DIY Chameleon guys, be there in the chat. We can say hello and such. Also, if you are wanting to be more involved with the community, join the Chameleon Academy newsletter, and that goes out every Thursday. Go to chameleonacademy.com, and there's a newsletter set up, and you can be part of a newsletter sign up. You can be part of, we have a topic every week, and by being part of the newsletter, you get the topic, and then you can give me feedback, and I can integrate that feedback into the podcasts and the videos. So please join us. And so, all right, everybody, thank you very much. And I will see you crazy people tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.